KPBS On Demand is supported by the YMCA of San Diego County. From preschool and sports to swimming and wellness, offering opportunities to connect, grow, and thrive. Learn more at ymcasd.org.
You're here at the live taping for The Finest, and we're here today to talk about book clubs. Yes. Okay, so bear with me. This is not going to be a depressing conversation, but I'm going to kick things off with some pretty sobering statistics. So we are in a loneliness epidemic right now. 6 in 10 Americans report feeling isolated or disconnected. And at the same time, we've also stopped reading. Like only 16% of people read for pleasure every day. And about half of American adults say that they didn't even read a single book last year. We have a ton of book clubs in San Diego. We actually talked to a bunch of them to get ready for this podcast.
On top of helping me connect to my heritage, it also keeps me accountable to reading. I hear constantly from people of how they're not connected enough.
Inevitably, someone is always gonna cry at book club.
I've seen so many friendships form.
I have met so many incredible people, read so many incredible books.
It gives me a sense of purpose.
Every time I leave book club, I just kind of have this feeling of just fulfillment.
It's definitely changed my life.
It's a really cool thing that I'm glad that we started up.
From KPBS Public Media, this is The Finest, a podcast about the people, art, and movements redefining culture in San Diego. I'm Julia Dixon-Evans.
Here in Southern California, we know all too well the devastation wildfires can cause. That's why our mission is to stop the next one before it starts. I'm Brian D'Agostino, leader of SDG&E's Wildfire and Climate Science team, and we've built one of the most advanced wildfire prevention programs in the country, with a team of world-class meteorologists using artificial intelligence and real-time weather data, all to help keep our communities safe. We're also building a stronger grid and using public safety power shutoff when necessary because, believe me, I've seen firsthand how unpredictable wildfires can be. But here at SDG&E, we face that uncertainty head-on to help keep you safe. Learn more at sdge.com/wildfire safety.
Before we get into our conversation on stage, we wanted to introduce you to some of the many book club members we talked to in recent weeks. You'll hear these voices pop up a few times during the episode. We asked you to tell us about your book club, and we were pretty overwhelmed by the number of responses we got. You all love your book clubs. The clubs we spoke to came in all different shapes and sizes, but they all talked about how their group counters those 2 big trends we mentioned. They get people reading, and they bring people together.
We have about 13 members. Maybe 5 to 6 people regularly show up.
We typically get 12 to 15 people.
We meet weekly in person at a coffee shop.
Zoom every Sunday, actually, from 10 to 12. And we meet once a month in person.
We meet every second Thursday of the month. And that's what we've been doing for the past 12 years now.
We really like to go to parks.
And we go to the beach sometimes to discuss our books.
We talk about the books that we're reading for about 30 minutes, and then the other hour and 30 minutes, we're just silently reading.
So joining me today are 3 representatives from different local book clubs. They're all pretty different, but they all show the power of the humble book club. Enid Sherman's club has met every month for 25 years, and by now they've read over 250 books together. And along the way, they've helped each other through life changes and so many different challenges. Hi, Enid. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi there. Glad to be here.
Mimi Phung's group, the North County Vietnamese Book Club, started as a way for her to understand her family's culture. Mimi, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And Courtney Geilenfeld actually has a bunch of clubs, but we're talking mostly about one of them today, her cookbook club. It's organized around a monthly feast dedicated to a particular chef and has created a pretty tight-knit group of friends. Courtney, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Enid, tell me why you started your book club and how did you get the people together?
Well, we were a group of women who were changing lifestyles. Many of us were thinking about leaving our careers, and we had gone through the raising of children, seeing them start their lives, having children, and we wanted something of our own. So we decided to start a book club. And our first book club meeting was to be on 9/11 of 2001. I think that's pretty powerful. I think most of you remember that horrendous day. So right away, we had this tremendous bond over the nightmare of 9/11. Well, we were 10 women. We decided that most of our focus would probably be on historical fiction because we all liked that. We decided also to meet once a month in our members' homes. The hostess would choose the book and be the facilitator of the discussion of that book. The hostess would also prepare a brunch in honor of the name of our club, which was Books, Bagels, and Broads. And we have grown up together.
Mimi, what about you? Why and how did you get started with your book club?
Yeah, I started my North County Vietnamese book club because I was really looking to connect with other Vietnamese folks in my community. I wanted just to see where are the Vietnamese people in North County? Like, I know we exist. And I just made a graphic on Canva and I went and found different Vietnamese Facebook groups. I put it out on the Asian Employee Association at the university I was working at the time. But what's been really cool is we have some members who I never met them in person until book club, just through Instagram. They saw I posted about it, and then they messaged me. I messaged them. They joined the WhatsApp group chat. That's which is how we communicate. And so really it was just me going out on a limb and seeing what would happen. But it's been really special, and I think it's one of the few things in my life where I'm like, this is a non-negotiable. I'm making time for this. I'm not ever going to cancel book club.
And Courtney, what about you? How did you decide to start your cookbook club? How did you grow it, and how does each meeting work?
Yeah, so I'm from San Diego, but I just moved back about 2 years ago. So I was freshly back, and my community had changed so much. And in Seattle, I was running a supper club, and I wanted to do something similar, but I didn't want to be the main person responsible for bringing all the food. And we're coming up on a little over a year and a half now. But how it runs is I pick the cookbook, and I like to just say it's a nice organized potluck, and then people come with a dish. We all sit at the table together. At the beginning, we all share the dish that we made. Often there's a lot of feelings about how one felt making that dish. Yesterday, we just cooked from the Diaspora Spice Co. cookbook, which was probably our most complicated cookbook yet. And so it was a journey and growing lesson, I think, for our group. But it was fun to see them be pushed out of their limits and be inspired to go and get out of their comfort zone and pick up the books like that.
Amazing. So as you heard earlier, when we were preparing for this, we also talked to some other local book clubs in San Diego. We put together another little montage of what they had to say about some of their like favorite memories, like their specific stories from their own book club.
I'm not super outgoing. I actually struggle with that. And so knowing that the book is like a topic that we're going to discuss, and then it leads into these natural connections.
We're talking about their conceptions of God.
And talking about a recent loss.
We've gone through losses. We've lost book club members through death. Sometimes you're hurting physically and emotionally, and those book club members will hold you up.
After the book club ends every week, we play Catan, Settlers of Catan.
A lot of us had read Project Hail Mary. We wanted to go see it together, and it was at the drive-in, so we made an event.
He was saying he reads Harry Potter in an English accent. And so I brought out the Harry Potter book at the end of the meeting, and he started reading to us.
Okay, I want to turn this question to each of you also. Like, what are some of your favorite memories or conversations from your book club? Enid, let's start with you.
Well, I'll talk about the last meeting we had. We read a book called The Jackal's Mistress by Chris Bojalian. And this was a book set in the Civil War era and a historical fiction, but it was kind of based on a true story. And the country was so divided and was in so much sadness. And we realized that that particular situation was echoed in our times right now. And that instigated a very animated discussion among the group. And also at this meeting, the hostess decided for the first time to deviate from bagels. Big surprise. And she said, well, I decided to make a Southern brunch. So we had a wonderful Southern brunch. We had more time to chat and mingle. And we ended our book club singing America the Beautiful.
Mimi, what about you? What's a favorite memory?
You know, I think our last book club really stands out to me, our last book club meeting. It was the first time someone hosted it in their home. Normally we meet at a restaurant or we've done like boba shops, but there's something different about like a book club member opening her home and hosting and seeing where they live. She made like a really beautiful, Vietnamese dinner. And, I remember towards the end of the night when everyone's eating, she said like, oh, my heart feels so full. And it was just really beautiful to see how much it meant to her to have people in her home. And what I think was really cool is what I've learned from the book club members continuously, like the learning moments too, because this book club member in particular, she's having some troubles with parenting. And one thing she has showed us is what like a Vietnamese mom can be like. A lot of us have shared some of our traumas or our hardships with our moms. And it's cool to see our book club member who hosted us last time. She said that she wanted her son to see, what it's like to have friends over and to not be isolated. And that's why she wanted us to have us over. And it's just been cool to see, learn from the book club members who are at different stages in their lives. Also, we had a book club member bring her mom. She's here today. And that was also really cool for me to see too, because I personally I could never bring my mom to book club. But but I thought that was like really eye-opening just to see like, oh, there is like this broad range of what a relationship with your mom could be. And I think that resonated, with a lot of us too, because book club is really just trauma dumping time for a lot of us, especially when we're reading these memoirs. So yeah, it's just been really cool to see the different experiences and the different ways you can live your life through book club.
And Courtney, what about you?
I think that this last Valentine's cookbook club was my favorite. We had it actually on Valentine's Day. And I had made little Valentines for everyone there. It was also one of our fuller ones, and cookbook club happens in my home, which definitely should not fit the amount of people that it does in it for a cookbook club, but it does somehow. And there are people just pooled out into my patio. Everyone's like as squished sardine in my living room. And just to see people be excited and kind of thrown back to grade school of getting a Valentine and it being so simple and small. And it just felt so special and a true, just bond and of the power of female friendship and celebrating the day together instead of maybe in some other stereotypical ways. And yeah, it was really beautiful. I loved that one.
Okay, speaking of going back to grade school, I want to get a show of hands from our studio audience. Raise your hand if you think it's hard to make friends as an adult. Yes, okay. So we basically have everybody raising their hand. And if none of you are raising your hand, it's because you're probably in a book club, right? Courtney, why do you think this is? Like, why is it so hard for people to make friends as an adult in our modern world?
I feel like COVID really put us into a different mindset and also just fear and awkwardness of going back out into the world and how to express yourself and be. And I think especially the further you get away from grade school and you're employed, you have your hobbies, family stuff, I think you just get so stuck in routine and it's hard to break out of something like that that's putting yourself out there, like the first day of school nerves or something like that. It's rare when we get chances like that. And I think especially with a lot of people who do work remotely, there's a lot of relationships through the computer and not how to meet people face to face. And with the power of something like a book club is a lot of just putting yourself out there, and that just comes down to vulnerability as well. And it's scary to put yourself in those positions for sure.
I mean, were you thinking about that when you were like putting your book club together, like building the community that you wanted?
Yeah, I mean, I was very honest in the first day of just, I don't know who would come, how many people would come, and hoped by putting myself out there on a platter that other people would feel safe and welcome enough to join in that. The good friends I've made from Cookbook Club, they all live within a 5-minute walk from me. And so I can pop over with something, or if I need to drop over, like the classic, like bringing sugar to your neighbor sort of thing. And I feel like it feels so much nicer when you actually know the people who are in your community. And I think that's just the biggest thing I've heard. And we have a good amount of people in their like 20s to 30s, but we do have people in their 40s and 50s, and even them, they love it. They are nervous when they first show up because they think they're too old to join. But we have one gal in particular, and she's just been so grateful to be in the community, and they have just felt so seen and valued to be at the table and in the club. And so just seeing the blossoming relationships each time, and just really fun to see that happen.
Mimi, also, what about you? Why do you think it is hard to make friends as an adult?
Well, I mean, as an adult, you're not forced to. I mean, I guess you have work, but it takes a lot more effort, I think. I moved to San Diego about, I think, 5 or 6 years ago, and that was a time because I didn't know anyone other than my sister and my husband. And yeah, making friends as an adult is hard. It definitely was a lot of, you have to put yourself out there. I'm naturally a very introverted person, so that was very scary, just to show up to things and not know anyone. But also, like you were saying, there's the rejection or the vulnerability, right? It's like, I don't know, kind of like dating, I guess. You could ask someone to hang out and maybe they don't show up. I mean, there's even, there's Tinder BFF or something like that nowadays. So yeah, people are definitely trying to make friends. I feel like a book club's probably better than doing a friendship dating app. So just gonna plug that.
Enid, the friendships in your club have spanned decades. Why is that important to you? Or like, what has that meant to you?
Well, when you've spent a quarter of a century together, and we have lost one member, we went through that together. And we've just been there for each other. We've been through milestones, good and bad, hard, and we've just built very deep friendships and very strong sense of support for each other. We have a bond of trust and respect. We can count on each other. Everyone in our book club shows up every month unless they have an important trip they're going on. And then they'll like to share it with us when they come back. We're very fortunate to have such committed members who have formed more like a family. And I certainly hope to spend the next 25 years with the amazing women of my book club.
The satisfying thing about it was seeing other friendships forged within the group.
I definitely think that it has brought our sense of community in our neighborhood a little closer. Like, I feel like I could ask anything of the neighbors that are in the club, and I do often.
5 or 6 of us started doing like these December retreats where we spend a week together just reading books, and like the whole Airbnb is silent, and we just have been doing that now for quite a few years.
We do more than just books. We go out to plays together. We go to movies together.
People in the group chat from the book club made another one to talk about playing basketball. I think people also have just really found a sense of community.
Before too long, you find yourself loving the people that you meet. And if you fall in love with your book club members, that makes it all worthwhile.
Mimi, I had one more follow-up question for you about this. Like, you're also wanting to bring people together, not just as friends, but to help you understand your heritage. Can you talk about how that's shaken out?
Yeah. Gosh, I feel like the answer to that question is probably always evolving and will continue to evolve. Looking back at my connection to my Vietnamese culture and heritage, it wasn't something that was super explicit to me growing up. It was more like just something that kind of surrounded me. I grew up in my parents' nail salon surrounded by other Vietnamese folks. But I grew up in the Midwest, actually. So when I came out here, I was honestly just like shocked and so excited because I was like, wow, there's Vietnamese people everywhere. People here know what pho is. That's crazy. And so I was like, I really need to use this opportunity of living in somewhere like San Diego to connect to other people, which is why I wanted to make the book club. And it's been great to have the book itself. It's like a starting point for the conversation, because then I get to hear everyone else's experiences. We have folks who were born in the U.S. like me, people who came to U.S. as adults. We have 1.5 generation, people who have kids, who don't have kids. And one of our book club members brought up, there's a phrase in Vietnamese that means like lost roots, when someone loses connection to, their culture and their heritage, their language. And he said that for him, the book club is a root for him, which I thought was really beautiful. But when it comes, I feel like it's helped me understand my culture so much better. It's also helped me maybe challenge some of my beliefs too. I talked earlier about, we talk a lot about parenting and our experience of our parents. And I think I had a pretty cynical view of parenthood for a while. But this book club has helped me see that that's not how it has to be. I think it's been cool to see how, I guess, the younger generation of parents are really taking it differently. It's been, eye-opening, and I can't even put into words how much it's changed me.
Coming up, our panelists share tips on how to start and sustain a successful book club. Because by this point in the conversation, I was definitely feeling inspired to start one of my own. And maybe you are too. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Dr. Michael Lalich, Medical Director and Chief of Staff for Kaiser Permanente San Diego. For more than 50 years, San Diegans have entrusted their healthcare to us. Our care and coverage connect to provide medical care tailored to each member. With our integrated network of primary and specialty care, we work together using evidence-based medicine to help deliver positive results. We believe in a healthy and engaged life with good beginnings and dignified endings. We believe that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness requires total health, including equal access to high-quality, affordable healthcare. At Kaiser Permanente, our cause is health. Our passion is service. We work to help make lives better. To learn more, visit kp.org/San Diego.
We've talked a little bit about like literacy and reading earlier. And Courtney, I have a question specifically for you about like how that affects cookbooks also, because I think a lot of us, we get our recipes online, like sometimes not even from a recipe writer, it's just from a reel or something like that. What is it that you love about a physical cookbook?
Well, this is my favorite topic. Yes, there's so much fear of cookbooks dying right now. I'm actually starting a cookbook shop here in San Diego, and every time I talk with authors, and I just went to a cookbook week in San Francisco, and the number one fear is the cookbook going to die? But I mean, I read cookbooks. I think cookbooks are for reading, and there's so much story and history in them. And I just was having this conversation yesterday with the Diaspora Spice cookbook is on paper, yes, looking at the book, it might be difficult, or it might, the recipe titles might sound scary, but when you're actually sitting down and reading the recipe, reading the little blurb before of what that means to someone, it really changes your whole experience of the cookbook. It makes you more inspired to want to try the recipe, to have that sensation that the author is writing it for, and the reason why it's chosen to be in the book. And I think that's just so important. And I can go on for hours about why cookbooks should be for reading. But they, at least for me, they're very inspiring, and see the story of human beings and why they create what they're creating.
Amazing. So we're here at the book festival, and we're all readers, and you are expert readers. So maybe we could get some book recommendations out of this. I don't know if you have your notebooks ready. I want to maybe real quick, just a quick recommendation. Enid, what is your favorite book that your club has read ever?
Well, one that stands out is called The Girl Who Wrote in Silk by Kelly Estes.
Mimi, what about you? What's a favorite?
A favorite of mine would be The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong.
Mine, and I think the Cookbook Club, would say By Heart by Haley Catalano. It just won a James Beard in the Media Awards this spring. It's a beautiful book, great story, and the recipes are also great.
What's your favorite recipe from it?
She has a sheet pan pizza that just has so much broccoli on it, and I feel like merging pizza with broccoli, but it's so good. It blew my mind when I had it. And also she has a corn orzo that is very, very good.
I don't know why I asked this. I'm so hungry. I could do broccoli pizza. If you could give the audience some advice or tips on how to start their own book club, or maybe if you have a book club, how to sustain it, what's one thing that you stand by? Let's start with you, Courtney.
I mean, again, just putting yourself out there, even if it's just 2 people who show up. And if those 2 people are passionate about it, they will share it with other people, bring those people in. The Cookbook Club started with, I want to say there was 10 of us, and now we have a running wait list because I can't fit everyone into my home. And if I could, there'd be probably, over 30 to 40 people. And And people just like to be a part of things. And I think even though in some weird way, especially when it's exclusive like a club, I feel like that draws people even more in because they want to know what's going on there. And then I would say the other thing is making it as consistent as possible. And so mine occurs once a month. I try to keep it relatively in the same amount of weeks, on the same day, at the same time, the same location. And I feel like the less guessing and bouncing around of things, the less that people have to think about where it is or if it's a new thing, the more that there's consistency, I think people are more willing to commit.
And Mimi, what about you? What's like the one thing you'd recommend?
I would say know what you're looking for in the book club you're making. That way you can have a clear message on like what the book club is. That way you can bring in the right people. But also, honestly, I'm a logistics person, but also make sure people know like where it is, what's going to happen, how can we communicate that? Because it's really easy. I've seen other book clubs where they just fall off because there's no one organizing it. People don't know what time it's going to be. It's inconsistent. So you definitely need like a detailed person too.
I'm just so in shock that our book club has been in existence for 25 years. I mean, when I really sit back and think about that, I mean, it's wonderful. And as I said, we've gone through so much together. Yeah, people have asked to join our book club, but nobody ever leaves. And we can't have more than 10 people because not every home is big enough to support that group. But yes, I think it's very important that people try to start book clubs. And in our community, I see that happening. And I think it's a wonderful thing. And it just has to go slowly, and people will find each other and make commitments to each other, and also think about where they come from and what their experiences are. And we have women that lived on a farm, grew up in a foreign city, wrote a book, just was a doctor. We have all kinds of experiences, a mosaic of many wonderful people.
Thank you, the three of you. Please give it up to our panelists. Thank you to our panelists, Mimi Phung, Enid Sherman, and Courtney Geilenfeld, and to our amazing live studio audience at the 2026 KPBS San Diego Book Festival. And thank you to all the other book clubs we talked to, Kristin and Nancy from Chapter 3 Book Club, Crystal from San Diego Silent Book Club, Joseph from his unnamed book club, Chih from the Lemon Literary Society, and Stephanie from Biblo Bibuli and Mission Valley Reads. Some of these clubs are open to the public and are always looking for new members. You can find a list of them on our website. If you're feeling inspired, go read some books and make some friends. And thank you so much for listening. If this episode resonated with you, please subscribe, leave a rating or comment. It makes a real difference and helps stories like these reach more people. The Finest is a production of KPBS Public Media in San Diego. I'm your host, Julia Dixon Evans. Our producer is Anthony Wallace, who also composed the score. Ben Redlosk is our engineer. Adrian Villalobos was the sound engineer for our live show. And Chrissy Nguyen is our editor. This episode was written and researched by Anthony and me.
KPBS On Demand is supported by Bilhau Plumbing, Heating and Air Flood and Restoration Services. Family owned and operated for over 46 years, Bilhau has been serving San Diego homeowners with home services since 1980. Bilhau's full-service team offers heating and air solutions along with dedicated flood and restoration services and an expert plumbing team. Their trained professionals are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to respond to both routine needs and unexpected emergencies. Bilhau is committed to providing excellent communication, transparent pricing, and quality workmanship on every job. Appointments can be scheduled by phone, online, or through live chat at their website. Call 1-800-BILHOW or visit bilhau.com because we know how.